And God said, Behold, I have given you every herb-bearing seed. To you it shall be for food. Genesis 1:29. Man did eat angels' food. He sent them meat to the full. Psalm 78:25. Everyday Manna with Lisa.
Hi everybody, and welcome to Everyday Manna. Today I have someone who is growing up way too fast for his mom, and he's so proud that he is now taller than I am, and I don't know if I like that idea or not, but I don't think I have a choice. But Aaron is joining me today in the kitchen, and we are going to make for you some Butterscotch Blondie bars, whatever you want to call them. Then we're going to make an Asian glazed pork chop and a hot ramen noodle broccoli slaw type dish for you for today. So we're going to get started first on the Butterscotch Blondies because they take the longest. So Aaron has in this bag, this is an easy way to smash nuts. We have a half a cup of just walnuts, and he's going to smash them up for me using a meat mallet, but you can use a rolling pin or anything. You could use a skillet, or you could chop them with your knife. But Aaron, if you will, just take that and show them how to just smash them and get them into small pieces. Okay? Go ahead, you do that. In this bowl, go ahead, it's okay. In this bowl, we have half a cup of all-purpose flour. That's okay, that's what I want. I want little pieces just like that. I have got a fourth of a teaspoon of salt.
Should use the spikes.
Half a cup. He wanted to use the spikes, but then we would tear that bag all to pieces. You can use the spikes, I'll let you on the pork chops. How about that? Yes. Then we have half a cup of packed brown sugar. You can use light brown or dark brown. It doesn't matter. Whichever you have on hand will work. We have got 3 tablespoons of butter that we've melted in the microwave. And I'm actually going to use the butter dish, 2 eggs. I'm going to crack them in this bowl separately because you just never know. Let me see. Okay, that's probably good. 2 eggs. Then Aaron, if you want to pour those nuts into there, pour those in the butter. This is kind of one of those dump and stir methods, which I love because it's just easier. Pour those in there. You could use pecans if you wanted, or almonds. I just happen to have walnuts, but you could use whatever kind of nut that you have. Then this, let me borrow that just 2 seconds and then you can have it back. This is butterscotch ice cream topping that you get usually over there where you buy the ice cream cones, near the ice cream in the freezer department. It'll be on a end cap, usually right at the end of the aisle. And that's it. And all you need to do is stir that up. So stir that all together, making sure you get all those eggs and everything incorporated. And it's delicious. It's very easy. And I've got here an 8x8 pan that I have sprayed with nonstick baking spray, the one with the flour in it. And then when Aaron gets that mixed up really good, we're going to pour that in our baking dish and get it in a 350-degree oven. And it bakes for about 20 to 25 minutes or until a toothpick inserted in the middle comes out clean. Very easy. Don't overbeat your batter. Was at a show about a week ago, a cooking show, and I was sitting in the audience and someone asked the question of why did their pancakes and waffles and baked goods come out tough? And the answer to that is overbeating. When you overbeat, you develop the gluten and it makes it tough. So that's good. You just want to get it to where you don't see any visible streaks of flour or egg. So Aaron, if you want to pour that in here and then use that spoon to get it all out. You want me to hold it and you got it? Okay. Aaron loves to cook with me in the kitchen, although he's being very quiet today.
Yeah.
You like to cook with Mom, don't you?
I like grilling mostly.
You do like grilling. Let me tell you, this child, it's been about 3 or 4 weeks ago. We were on our way home from school, and it was one of those days when Mom just did not feel like cooking a great big meal. And so we stopped at the grocery store and just picked up something to put on the grill. And Aaron grilled for me, and it was fabulous. He did it all from start to finish, and it was the best I've ever eaten. So he's my little griller man. He loves to cook. But you know, men tend to like to man the fire, don't you? You're doing good. So he's getting all that in there, and then we're going to put this in an oven that is preheated to 350 degrees. I love the little rubber spatulas because that gets all the stuff out. That's good. Now, we're going to take this and put it in the oven at 350 degrees. Then we're going to get started on our pork chops. Aaron, if you want to turn it over to the spike side, I'll show you what you can do. You don't have to do this, but if you have your child in the kitchen with you and they want to beat something with the spiky part of a meat mallet, it's okay because it just tenderizes the meat. You got it? Let's wipe up our butterscotch. Now, in this, on my board, which I always use a separate board, I get asked this question all the time. I never put meat directly on my nice wooden cutting board. Don't do that. But while he's doing this, I'm going to show you something. I have here 6 because I'm feeding a lot of people. You can do 4 to 6 pork chops. These are boneless, thin, relatively thin loin chops. But they always come with this little fat cap on there, which you want to leave because that's flavor. But underneath that fat, there is a piece of what's called silver skin most all the time. Have you ever cooked a pork chop and it curl on you when you cook it? You know how it just kind of cups up? That's because that's contracting. So if you'll take a little paring knife and you will make a couple of little small pieces, don't cut too far down in there, but if you'll cut that little bit of a silver skin, it'll stop that from happening. So I always do that with my pork chops because I hate to get that little curled up thing in my pork chops. Don't you? I hate that when that happens. So I'm just taking this and I'm just not cutting deep into the meat, just barely through that little silver skin. And then Aaron's going to take our meat mallet and he is going to tenderize it. Now you don't have to do this because these are actually pretty lean, but that's okay. So take that and just pound lightly. Don't beat it to death. I'll show you. Keep going. There you go. Now, you see how that, okay, stop just a second. You see how that is making little tiny holes in there? That's tenderizing the meat. So go ahead and do each one of them about like what you did. Do the other one. Then we'll do the other side. You're doing good. This is a great little tool to have in your kitchen. You can find them anywhere that sells kitchen supplies. This particular one has 2 sides. Has the smooth side and the little sharp, pokey side, which is what you use for meat. But I use it for all kinds of stuff. I use it to thin out pork chops or chicken breasts. I use the other side like you saw Aaron do to crush nuts or chocolate chips or anything that you need to crush up fine, cracker crumbs or whatever. Makes a great little tool to do this. It's a multitasker, so you're not stuck with something in your kitchen that just does one thing. Okay, now do that one. All right, now we're going to take a quick little break. All we're going to do is put a little bit of salt and a little bit of pepper on both sides of these pork chops. And when we come back, we're going to get them into a skillet, and then we're going to start on our ramen noodle side dish. Be back in just a minute. Hey, and welcome back. Now our skillet is preheated, and I'm going to add about a tablespoon or so of just a neutral canola oil. And I want to show you a little trick. If you've got something that you're salting and peppering both sides, do one side and then put them in the pan and then do the other side. It's a whole lot easier to do that way.
How come I can't do it?
What do you want to do? You want to pepper them and salt them?
No.
You want to put them in the skillet? Well, Let me just go ahead and do that, and then you can pepper them and salt them, okay? Now, I'm going to brown these on both sides for about 4 to 5 minutes. You want to salt and pepper them?
Sure.
And Aaron's going to salt and pepper the other side. I love those little mats because then all you got to do is put them in your dishwasher. Take that over there. You can use your fingers.
I don't like fingers.
A lot of times I buy these little disposable pepper meals, and I just picked one up this morning at the store, and I love those things. In the meantime, we've got about 4 cups of water coming to a simmer. Just a little bit, don't overdo it. Now put the pepper on there. There you go. You need a little more? Okay. Aaron doesn't like to use his fingers. I just use my fingers to sprinkle them, but that's okay. That's probably plenty. Okay, now do some pepper on that side. Now, to go on these pork chops, because pork chops really can be a little bit on the bland side, I'm going to make a glaze. And we're going to mix up. You know, a lot of times, really, I like to use preserves or jellies and jams with my meat products. So in this bowl, I have about 4 or 5 tablespoons. You don't have to use the same exact amount of, you can use ginger preserve. You could use, this is a jalapeno jelly preserve because I like a little spice to it. Either one will work. And what I'm going to do is, I'm going to show you a little hint. Aaron, what we're going to do, see our water has come up to a simmer. We're going to use that water to cook these noodles, but I'm also going to use it to melt that jelly just a little bit. So put your bowl with your jelly or your preserves or whatever you're using over your simmering water for just a minute. And what that's going to do is melt that, or you could stick it in the microwave if you wanted to. Either way would work. For our side dish, we're going to use ramen noodles. College staple. How many college kids live on these things? Aaron loves them, don't you?
Oh, yeah.
We love these things. They're very, very cheap. They're like 20 cents a pack. And I like to mix the flavors. If you've never done that, it really is very good. I mix the Oriental with the beef. It's my favorite way. But you could do any combination that you like. Anything will work.
I like all of them.
You like them all, don't you? He can cook those himself. So that's one of those things that, you know, maybe mom is busy and can't quite get the snack fast enough. And Aaron can cook those. And any child, once they get big enough to learn how to do the stove, can really do that. Now, you see how that's just loosening that up? That's what you want. In this container, we have 4 tablespoons of just a bottled Asian sesame vinaigrette salad dressing. In the salad dressing aisle, you'll find the, go ahead and put it in there, the Asian toasted sesame type gingery, any of that kind of flavor. You think Asian, okay? Think Asian flavors. This is just the sesame salad dressing. And we're going to use that to glaze our pork chops. We're going to take our spoon. Thank you.
Strong spoon, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Very strong. It's delicious, though. I love it. Now, be careful because this is going to get hot. And that's really it right there. That's all you need to do. Probably wouldn't let my kids do that. I'll do that. Well, you got to use the,
I know.
mat because it's hot. Now, just set that over here on your board or on my board, either one. Be careful. It's hot. Now, set it down.
Now it's really out of boil.
Yeah, that's okay. There you go. Now just leave that alone and that'll just kind of hang out and do its thing. You want to put these in there for me? You want to do this?
What? I can't even hear you.
Do you want to put the noodles in the thing? I got to find my scissors.
You know what I could go for right now?
What could you go for right now?
Your homemade, what's it called? Mongolian beef.
Oh, yeah. We make that. We've made that on here for people. We like to break ours up. I do anyway. You don't like to break yours up, you don't have to. You can put it in there whole.
I like mine whole.
You like yours whole? Okay, here you go.
Just be careful not to burn yourself.
Yeah, be careful not to burn yourself. There you go. Those cook in a matter of about 3 minutes. They're very, very, very quick cooking. Hang on just a minute. Let's get
That's what I was waiting for.
Here it comes. Get those down in there. These are just dried noodles. That's what they are. If you don't have these, or maybe you don't want to use them, you could use any kind of a long strand of pasta that you wanted, any kind of a noodle, spaghetti or buckwheat pasta, anything like that would work. The little flavor packing, the packages that are in there with it, I like to use those in mine. So I had some scissors, there they are. And go ahead and put those in the...
You know that all you have to do is
there.
just rip off the side, right?
Oh, well, no, I didn't know that. I learned something today. I always thought you had to cut them. Okay, put that in there. Takes about 3 minutes. And that's all. Those things are super, super quick. All right, now stir that in. Delicious, absolutely delicious. We love them. Quick little thing, you know, and it's great to cook those. Another little fast side dish is to cook those and put peas in them, or pieces of chicken, or meat left over that you have, pork, or whatever you have. Makes a great full meal, and an inexpensive meal too. They're very cheap.
Very good.
Okay, 3 minutes is all that needs. All right, now Erin, let's flip our pork chops. Let Mom do this because I don't want you to get burned. Our pork chops should be good and brown. Oh yes, look at that. How good.
Goodness.
You want to do them?
Yes.
All right.
You won't let me ever do it.
Be careful. That's because I don't want you to get burned. But you're growing up. You're bigger than me now. And so I guess you can man the...
Now I can see why. They stick to the grill.
Well, they do stick just a little bit. Be careful. Flip them over.
Yeah.
They need about 3 or 4 more minutes on that side, and then they're done. If you find your pork chops are dry and chalk-like, because you're over-cooking them.
Man.
You know, I see the day coming when I'm just standing and my boys are doing this program. Won't that be wonderful? I love to see them in the kitchen. I get so many comments from viewers that they love to see my boys in the kitchen with me, because it shows that your children need to be involved in cooking. Teach them how to cook. And that way, when they grow up, they can take care of themselves. We're going to take a quick break. We're just going to get these ramen noodles done. And then when we come back, we're going to glaze our pork chops, and we're going to make the fastest, easiest side dish ever. We'll be back in just a minute. And welcome back. Now, our noodles are done. What's left of them, because somebody had to have some. So that's minus a few, but that's okay. Our chops are done, but let's get our pork chops glazed. I've got a large skillet here that I'm preheating, but I'm going to saute this. But Erin, do you want to put this on the pork chops?
Sure.
Just whisk it all together, and then just pour that in the pan with the pork chops. Pour it all in there. Be careful. Over, just kind of glaze each one. There you go. And what will happen is the glaze will mix with the juices that are coming out of the pork chops. They look so good. And mix with that, and then it'll thicken up as it cooks down. And put that back in the sink. And then it will get thick and become your sauce and your glaze. And so we're just going to let those go for just a few minutes. Now, in this skillet, I'm going to add about a tablespoon or so of just a neutral oil. Canola or vegetable will be fine. And then I bought a bag of, just in the produce department, a bag of broccoli slaw. And we're going to saute that for just a minute. Go ahead. Put that in there. We're going to put it all.
Certainly is colorful.
It is colorful and good. I love this stuff. All of it. And then we're gonna saute this for just a couple of minutes. Aaron, if you wanna put some pepper,
Oh, there is.
some pepper in there. I'm not gonna add any salt. 2 reasons. The broth that we cooked the noodles in has a ton of salt. And by the way, I drained those pretty good. I don't want that liquid in there that just flavors it. And then this salad dressing mix that we're gonna use also has salt in it. So you really do not need any more salt. But I do like pepper in there. Okay, now we're gonna stir that around just a little bit. And when that is, just takes a couple of 3 minutes. When that's done, we're gonna add our noodles in there, and that's it. A delicious Asian-inspired side dish. Now, my pork chops have come up to a nice little boil, so I'm gonna turn those around just to kind of coat them in that sauce, and I'm just gonna let it thicken. Smells so good. If you can find ginger preserves, get the ginger preserves and do this. Is fabulous. Or you can use the jalapeno jelly like I did today. But the ginger preserves are just marvelous in this dish. And that's it for those. I'm just going to let that sauce just thicken and get delicious. Keep that. Now, let's check our oven. We've got our wonderful little brownies. Let's see if they're done. I'm going to show you how to do that. Be careful. Take a toothpick and insert it in the center, and see how the toothpick is clean? That means it's done. So let's get those out. Now they need to cool for about an hour or so, and then you can cut them into squares or bars, and they're delicious. Now, we used, stir that because I smell it. We used our butterscotch ice cream topping in the batter, and you will have some left over in the jar that you use. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna drizzle this over top of this butterscotch brownie bar. Just drizzle it over and let the warm brownie just sort of melt that in there.
You're making me even more hungry.
You don't have to do that, but why not?
I can see
All
it.
right, now, this just needs a minute. And then add your noodles in there. Stir all that together. You need tongs? I think it'd be easier probably with tongs.
Yeah, it is.
There you go. Stir that together. Yum, yum. Okay, and then add in a couple of tablespoons of your sesame, Asian sesame ginger dressing, salad dressing that you used in your pork chops, and that just sort of ties those flavors together. And that's it. They're done. That is all done. Look how good that looks. And that's all there is to it. And there's your side dish. Here, let Mama plate it up. Now, what we're going to do is just get that onto your plate. Oh, I love that stuff. We're going to take a pork chop. And Aaron, why don't you put one of those pork chops here. They're done. Any one you want. Pick one out. Put it on our plate, our cutting board. There you go. And we're going to cut that and serve it. I like to just cut it into, oh, look how good that looks. Yum, yum.
White, as usual.
Looks good. And then put that on your, you want to get a spoon, Aaron, and we'll put some of the sauce on there?
Where? What?
Any kind of a spoon.
Just any?
Just something that doesn't have holes in it.
You.
And then put your, some of your wonderful little glaze
Where? Oh, this.
over top of your beautiful pork chop. And that's it. There's a wonderful, easy to cook meal any day of the week for you and your family. Remember, these need to sit and cool, and then you can cut them into bars. And then the final touch is to take some sesame seeds and sprinkle over everything. Just sprinkle a little bit. You don't have to use them all. Be careful, that's hot. You can take your fingers and then sprinkle some sesame seeds over top of your pork chop. And I would put a little bit over my broccoli ramen noodle side too, if you want to. It doesn't matter. I love those things. They taste so good. But there's a quick, that's good. There's a quick, easy meal for your family. Get your kids in the kitchen. Thank you for coming and being with me. I appreciate it. I'm having to look up to my boy. Oh, he likes to show off for that he's bigger than his mama. Do you know, I remember when you were just a little tiny fella and on the set had to sit on a stool so you could see him there at home. Now look at him. He's grown up on me. He's quite my man, but I love him more than anything. So get your kids in the kitchen with you. Make those memories. Thank you for joining with me. And we'll see you next time on Everyday Manna.
Thank you for watching Everyday Manna with Lisa. This program is made possible by viewers like you. Your support is continually needed to keep Christian programming on the air. Please send your best financial gift to Living Faith Television in care of Everyday Manna,